Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man.
What's up, Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze, Eric Jedi Master McCabe, and Robert the Soul Man McCall.
Ooh, Soul
Because
Man.
you got so many shoes, soulism.
Perfect.
My name's Andrew. Quick question for you guys. So I think that when people are trying to get better at disc golf, they often focus on things like technique and form, which are obviously important. But I think that the mental side of the sport gets neglected a lot. And I just wanted to see what y'all's advice was on maybe your favorite tip for improving the mental side of disc golf, or maybe a couple tips, just whatever comes to mind. Really love the podcast. Y'all are great. Keep it real.
Cool, Andrew.
Mental side of the game is very hard. It's difficult to even, I guess, teach. I don't know. I mean,
Seriously.
look at some of the champions in the past, like Paul, for instance, this past weekend in Europe. Nobody else could have done what he did by, staying mentally strong the entire time and chasing Barsby down.
Right.
And in
when
the
he's
end,
just on fire.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But it is all about that. And how do you get, the mental side of it kind of locked into place? Well, really, the only way to do it is experience and confidence.
Yeah.
Being confident in yourself and in your shots. And honestly, I say this a lot, but having a short memory is a way to get through everything. I mean, think about it. It's easy to think about it now when you're sitting here as opposed to when you're out playing like an event. If you have a bogey on a hole, it's really easy to, reflect on it and dwell on it and think about it for, the next 5 or 6 holes. But what's that going to do but bring your game down? I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't change the past. You might as well just move on to the next shot and play it shot for shot. As cliche as it sounds, that's really all you can do.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the tips that has been really helpful for me is once you've thrown a shot, I can't do anything to affect that shot anymore. While it's in the air, while it's on the ground, doesn't matter.
And one piece of advice that I'd heard somebody tell me that really stuck with me was you can only, how did they say it? You can only control the disc up to like 5 feet out of your hand or 10 feet out of your hand.
Right.
The rest of it, who knows what's going to happen.
Right.
You can only control that first 10 feet. And from there, I mean, you just got to play it as it lies, play the cards as they fall, so to speak. So
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a really good tip is just short memory, one shot at a time. I'm a person who, while I'm on the disc golf course, my brain is, and this is just me in general, my brain's racing a lot. Like I'm always thinking about something different or something I need to be working on or whatever. And on the disc golf course, that can be pretty bad for me because I'll start, say I throw a shot and it's not exactly where I want to be. It's up the fairway. I can't really see where it's sitting. I used to walk up the fairway being like, man, I don't know if I'm going to have a putt. Maybe I'll have a look at this one. Maybe what if I'm in a really bad spot and I really need this birdie. I really need this par, whatever. And that's the worst thing that I can do for myself. Some people are great at running through all the scenarios in their head. Do your thing. That's great. That's not for me. And so I actually started reading some golf books on the mental side of golf. And I would recommend them to anybody who's trying to get a little bit more serious about the mental side because it just helps you to guide your thoughts a little bit more on the course. There are always going to be negative thoughts. These books kind of help to, I think move them along. So I would check out Fearless Golf and Golf is Not a Game of Perfect. I think those are two that would be really good to check out.
And one last thing I'd like to add is that to me, the mental part, to ease the mental part is, and I know you guys say it, everybody says it, is practice, practice, practice. And what the punchline for that, though, is that if you see football players, they practice the same place over and over and over and over. And when I was in the Marine Corps, we did drills over and over and over, tactical maneuvers over and over again, because when it came down to it, when it hit the fan, you took thinking out of the equation. You didn't have to think about it. You were just doing that thing.
Executing.
Yeah, you were executing that thing you did over and over again. So if you're just constantly putting and putting and putting, you're throwing, when it comes down to tournament time, you're just executing on that.
Muscle memory. Yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah, and I think that emphasizes, too, the importance of a pre-shot routine, of making it so that before your shot, you're doing the same thing, thinking the same thing every time, because that takes some of the mental pressure off.
Can I do the electric slide every time?
You just
as
just
long as
start
it's within your 30 seconds.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good. That's a really good pre-shot routine, I think.
I want to try it out next time.
I'm interested.
Okay.